we go, everyone. My most requested series to date after Teen Titans Go, which is on its way. Episode 50 special, I promise. Kong the Animated Series, everyone. Honor! Roll the title sequence! Now that is out of the way, on to the technicals. Kong first aired on BNK in 2000. In May of 2001, Fox Kids began airing reruns of the first 13 episodes. Then Jetix began airing reruns on September 9th, 2005, in anticipation of the release of Peter Jackson's King Kong. Additionally, two made-for-TV movies, both of which will be covered at a later date, the first one during Kaijun, and yes, June is going to be a theme month. Anywho, onto the premise. Kong the Animated Series is about a college boy named Jason and his two friends, the rich surfer bum Tem, and the shaman girl Lua, and his grandmother Dr. Lorna Jenkins, and their adventures with the titular ape Kong, who is stated in canon to be a clone of the Kong from the King Kong black and white film, as they try to get back the 5 of the 9 primal stones from Professor Raymond de la Porta, a secondary villain who stole them from Skull Island in the pilot movie, where the engine for the fight scenes are also established, which is that Jason's grandma made a device that confused an animal with a human, which normally causes horrible mutations in every giant monster made by De La Porta and his minions, with the ones he made after studying the one they stole from the heroes, which is why normally animals become giant-sized mutants, but ever since he is a willing participant, Kong and his fused partner Jason don't mutate. The reason they need to get back the primal stones, aside from all the havoc De La Porta could cause with them, is that the original Kong and the indigenous people of the island used their magic to seal away the primary villain of the show, Kairos, a demon who wants to consume the life force of every living thing on Earth and his minions. And now that the bulk of them are gone, he has awoken, but can't leave his lair because 4 stones are still left on the island. Now with this premise, you'd think that you'd have Kong stopping the forces of Kairos in storyline episodes, and having the filler having the crew dealing with Dr. De La Porta trying to get the remaining stones back, and we'd have a pretty decent continuity-driven series for the late 90s, early 2000s. But it doesn't go that way at all. Now don't get me wrong, the episodes that contribute to the overall story or are focused on the lore of this universe range from pretty decent to amazeballs for a show of this time. But the filler, which makes up the bulk of the series, is painful. Here's the typical formula for a filler episode. Grandma finds a scroll or a stone tablet or some other episode-specific MacGuffin. They travel there to get it, find out that De La Porta is already there. He hatches a plan to kill Kong and steal the MacGuffin. His minions fuse with an animal and become a kaiju. Kong fights it in the last 4 minutes, beats him up, episode ends, lather, rinse, repeat. Now, a formula isn't necessarily a bad thing. Good animation and creative fight choreography can compensate for lackluster writing. But what you should have surmised from the clips I've been using is that Kong the Animated Series animation is really stiff. And no, the fight choreography is stock at best, tear-inducingly boring at worst. But to help illustrate this point, let's go over an episode or two. For our first go-round, we'll start with the episode Billy. We start with the titular Billy and his kid sister trying to coax a stray cat out of hiding when our heroes show up fighting a Cyberlink-created rat monster. After De La Porta's minion and the rat defuse, the Cyberlink breaks and Billy picks it up. From there, you can pretty much surmise the rest. Broken Cyberlink fuses Billy with the rat from before. He goes on a confused rampage. Kong tries to stop him but refuses to fight. The military gets called in after Tam gets hold of his mother and sister. He finds out what happened, tells Jason about it. Jason fuses with Kong. They call out to Billy. This is enough for Louie to get the Cyberlink off. The Air Force jet pilot sent in to kill the kaiju monster aims at Kong instead. They save Kong by Jason doing a reverse merger and bringing Kong into his own body, which is a thing that can happen, by the way. They cut to Billy and his family in the hospital and the credits roll. By the numbers filler, lather, rinse, repeat. Now let's go over the problems. Now that the military knows about Kong, are you going to try and tell me that they wouldn't be trying their damnedest to try and figure out what was going on and where all the kaiju monsters are coming from? Hell, that would probably work in Jason and crew's favor. Take the military representative of Skull Island, explain to them what's going on, why they need all 9 stones, and just have the military raid Delaporta's base. Problem solved! They would probably have to put up with the American military claiming Skull Island as U.S. territory and putting a base on the island with a few military guys on watch to keep the stones where they belong. That would only be a good thing. And yeah, you could make the argument about how the government might abuse the power of the stones, but that could have been a better plot point about absolute power corrupting absolutely, and having to steal the stones themselves to keep the more corrupt corners of the Pentagon from misusing it could have been used to help fill episodes instead of giving us an endless diatribe of bullshit filler! And I can hear that one guy in the comment section now. E, why are you hopping? It's just a kid show. A, fuck you. Just because the 5 to 10 set is the intended audience for a show is no excuse not to put your best foot forward. And B, don't write your kid's story with plot holes big enough for kids to see through! Or how about what I personally consider to be the worst episode by far, Howling Jack? We start our episode with a parody of all those celebrity gossip shows like TMZ and the ilk, with a bullshit Where Are They Now segment that's here only to establish our one-off villain for the episode, the titular Howling Jack, who is a washed-up stuntman slash special effects expert slash director all-in-one who got blacklisted in Hollywood. After he kept upping the ante in his stunts to the point where they kept breaking safety standards, kept going over budget, and actually got people hurt really badly, aka a segment that I think will be about Michael Bay in about another half a decade. Anywho, to think, I haven't used that word this whole review up until this point. Well, anywho, we cut to Howling Jack and his dumbass flunkies for the episode, whom, for the sake of not having to remember their names, will be called Fat Ass and Slim, making, ironically enough, a B-rate kaiju film for what I can only assume is the Asylum in an attempt to re-enter the film business. He gets a sight of Kong fighting a Cyberlink-created cat monster, who are fighting over one of those pre-established stone MacGuffins that I mentioned before. And after screaming in fear and shitting a brick or two, he gets the bright idea that if he gets Kong on film, thus proving that he's alive and that he didn't die in the black and white film, he would be welcomed back into the film industry and be allowed to write his own ticket, so to speak. After some more padding, cut to a scene where Jack and his flunkies are making a mech suit out of scrap from the kaiju suit for the B-rate they were making. After some more padding, we get a slow scene of Kong and the Mecha Jack having a fight near the Hollywood sign. Then we get a scene where it's revealed that Fat Ass and Slim missed everything because they followed Jack's instructions of keep the camera on me to a ridiculously literal degree and missed Kong completely and only got scenes of Jack rolling down the Hollywood signs hill. Go ahead and play the Courage the Cowardly Dog Unfunny Shenanigans meme clip. After some more padding, a group of dumbasses trying to follow Konga crew around Hollywood in a dilapidated old semi-truck. We get a 4-way fight scene between Kong, the Jack Mecha, and 2 lizard monsters courtesy of De La Porta. After a really lazy fight scene, Kong beats the 2 lizard monsters and gets the Jack Mecha stuck in the La Brea tar pits. Then Kong and crew make like bananas and split, and Jack and his flunkies get arrested and charged for all the destruction, and we end on a reprise of the celebrity gossip show, explaining everything, lather, rinse, repeat. A well-written show, irregardless of the intended demographic, will keep your attention on the story so you don't notice the flaws with the story, or at least suspend your disbelief when you do because what the show does well compensates. But with this show's filler, all I could think was, hey, just let De La Porta die by his own hubris instead of constantly saving him all the time. His lackeys only work for him because they're getting a paycheck. Their loyalties don't extend beyond that. After he's dead, they would probably spill the beans on where the other stones are after finding out about the world-swallowing hellspawn. See what I mean about the filler being painful? Episodes about the lore or that move the story along are actually really, really good. The pilot movie, Apocalypse, the ending 2-parter, Endless Wrath, The 13th Stone, Kairos' Child, Infinity Stone, and Reborn are excellent examples of the show at its best. But the filler makes the show not worth anyone's time. If you are curious about the show, it has an official YouTube channel with every episode and both movies posted there. By the hand of the Barbara and the Holy Space Ghost, do your research and skip the filler. You'll thank me. Anywho, I'm the Walrus Clown. The 90s show The Street Sharks will be up next. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you then. Hi, this is the Walrus Clown here. Welcome to the end slate. If you wouldn't mind clicking subscribe, watching another video, hit like, leave a comment, etc., that'd be great. And link to the Kong the Animated Series YouTube page will be in the description. Thank you very much, and bye.